Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is for those of you who are on live. And if you're not on live and you're joining in here later, thank you for coming in. Welcome to Six String Corner, where today we're going to do another quick free lesson. And this one is about those doggone bar chords. Oh my gosh, did he say bar chords? I know a lot of you, man, not all of you, a lot of you do have trouble with these bar chords. And sometimes we see shapes and we're trying to form those bar chords and have a little bit of trouble with trying to make them work. And I think sometimes the problem is that we're going too deep into learning a bar chord. In fact, we're learning these where there's like 6 strings or 5 strings that we've got to kind of make work. And really, we don't start there. I think we start a little bit smaller. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit. I'm going to give you, I think we're going to go over 3 chords. I'm going to try and get 3 chords. I don't expect, depending on your level and where you're at, probably don't expect to get all 3 of these as I show them to you. You can come back to this video, of course, and refer back to it. I will have these chord diagrams. I don't think I'm going to have them in the description below right now, but tell you what, I'm going to put them in the 6 String Corner tab library. That's probably the best place to put them. So you will look for them after this lesson. It won't be there at this second, but it'll be after the lesson. I'm going to show you them here anyway. Show pictures of them to you. But I'm going to give you 3 chords. One we're going to kind of build together. And then I got 2 others that, as you move along, one that's got a really cool name to it too. You probably, if you're into music, you're just kind of just jamming and you don't really know about music theory. It kind of surprise you that it's actually fairly simple in concept, maybe harder to play, but it's a good bar chord to start with. And what I'm getting at is we're going to be learning 1-finger bar chords ish. I'm going to add a second finger, but we're going to go into start and going with 1 finger. Uno. In standard tuning, by the way. And those of you who don't know standard tuning, it's, what we normally have it in, E, A, D, G, B, E. If you do what's called open tunings, you can do 1-finger bar chords all day long, and it would sound really, really cool. But we're going to do just a simple 1, 2, and possibly, I'm sorry, did I say 1 string? You can't do 1-string bar chord. Hello. We're going to do a 2-string bar chord and a 3-string bar chord, and then I'm going to get into a 4-string and see how you do. All right, you can do that and check on your own. So bar chords, as you know, many of you know, can be really a bear. And I tell you, I'm giving you just a quick dissertation here on how to do some of these, but also what's also pretty cool is if you can get some one-on-one instruction. I offer it myself. I have one-on-one Zoom lessons that I give all the time. I have a couple of free lessons, and it's in the description below. You can check on it. Doesn't cost you anything, and it's a money back guarantee and all that kind of stuff. So there's really not a lot of risk to it, and you can see if it works out for you. I know that sometimes online lessons aren't for everybody, but it give you a chance, and I give you a chance to try it out. So again, that you can either book the lesson in the link below, and there's another one where you can just kind of get a little bit more information, and we can work even more towards bar chords or whatever it is that you want to learn, whether it's a song, a solo, or what have you. Okay, so let's get into the meat of the subject here, and this is bar chords. So a couple little things that I want to go over before we start showing you these, and these are and again, I'm going to go sort of quickly on through these, but if you need more information, let me know. Again, there's the comments in the description below and stuff like that. Let me know if there's anything more you need to know. Shoot me a DM if you're on Facebook, and I'll do my best to help you out, or of course, book a lesson. All right, so what we got to learn is not just how the fingers are in the front, okay, these fingers right here to the front, but also how you're positioned in the back of the guitar. This is oftentimes overlooked, but I think it's really, really super crucial that we at least get this down. So I'm going to just spend just a couple minutes here on getting this right, and then we're going to get you down to learning how to play a couple of these chords. All right, and then you can get out with your life and hopefully so you can play a couple bar chords, and hopefully this will get you started and maybe give you a little more encouragement that you can get these other things down. Okay, that's what we're after. All right, so what we're looking for, and I'm going to switch my camera angle here, so you're going to lose me and you're going to get more of my guitar. There we go. All right, so what we're looking for here is how to position the back of the guitar. All right, so oftentimes we're looking at the front and how we can get our fingers placed, but we sometimes miss on what's happening back here. All right, so when we're playing a bar chord, and I don't even have to show you the bar chord, I'm playing a bar chord right now, but the idea is similar here. So it's how we position our thumb. Generally speaking, when we play a bar chord, we're going to want our thumb down. Sometimes we're trying to put our thumbs up here, and it's really difficult for the fingers to come around and do what they need to do to make that bar chord happen. So you got to really keep that thumb down here, okay, a little bit lower on the neck, and this keeps your hand, puts your hand down lower too. All right, so now by having it lower, that gives us the maneuverability to get the hand over so that we can form that chord. Again, you don't see the front yet. I'm not showing the front on purpose. I'm showing you how you need to have this back of the hand here. And the thumb needs to be fairly straight. Now, it could be pivoted a little bit, but you don't want to be moving it, okay, in all kinds of wacky different directions. Okay, we want to make sure that it's kind of down like this and that we're going to play that bar chord. And I'm doing different bar chords. You can't see it, but I'm changing around my bar chords. You don't see a lot of change. I'm in the same position. I don't even have to show you what I'm playing here. You can see how my thumb is pretty much the same, okay? So we want to make sure the thumb is down, and which brings our wrist down here as well, so that when we're playing those bar chords, you'll whichever finger is doing the barring is going to be able to do them quite well, and it also gives the other fingers a chance to get over the string that's below them. That's also another thing, common problem I see. All right, so now let's look at the front. So here's our first chord that I'm going to show you here, and let me see if I've got a diagram on this one. Give me 1 second here, and then if I get it, I'll share it with you. If not, it's no big deal. We can make this work. Nope, I don't see it. Okay, that's all right. That is okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is start on the first two strings right here, and we're going to just press down these first two strings right here. And we're going to use one finger right here. All right. Simple in concept. We bring the pointed finger down. Remember how I showed that thumb? Make sure it's down here and not up here. This is going to be really difficult. It's up here. Bring the thumb down, and we're going to take the pointed finger and press down on the first and the second string, with E and the B string, depending on how you learned them, okay? And you're going to come around with the pointer finger and press straight down on it, just like this, all right? Now, by holding it like that, okay, you press down on it, and it's kind of like holding, I heard this said one time, like if I had a sandwich and I'm going to hold like a really small little piece of sandwich and I'm going to eat it, that's how kind of like how your hands and your fingers are. All right, and what we do is we just press down on those two, and then you test it out. Of course, I'm going to bring my up here. And you want to get that to sound nice and clear. And not that. Notice how my pointed finger, it's going to come in on an angle too, not straight up and down, because we're going to have to do some other things here. So it's going to sit more on an angle. Now we also want, and this is pretty important too, we want to make sure it's as close as we can, as close as possible to the fret wire. This little thing here, these things here are called the fret wires. All right, and it needs to be as close as it can to the fret wire to the right, okay, not over here. It's over here. So you want to hold that that fret wire, those two fret wires down, just like fret wires, those two strings down right here. All right. So by doing this, and once you get those two sounding good, congratulations. If you haven't played a bar chord, you just played one. Because bar chord, I don't know what the official definition is, but I do know that a bar chord is simply your one finger is holding down multiple notes. I'm being very generalistic here, but it's holding down two or more strings. Okay, and in this case, we're holding down the pointer finger. All right. All right. Now that's part of what sometimes is called an F chord. It's also part of, if you want to try it, and this would be really interesting to see if you can do this. Just hold your hand like this, and then bring the middle finger over. See where I'm at here? I'm on that third string on the second fret. And what we're going to do here is we're going to pluck all four of these strings, starting with the open D. Now the name of this chord is called, and again, I wish I had the diagram. I'll have it in the I'll have this chord diagram in the 16 corner tab library. But it is a D minor 7. So it's called the D. D is in dog. D minor 7. And that is how. So the trick to this one, of course, is going to need to bring this middle finger over so that it doesn't sit and knock that out. But again, going back to my original talk here on the back, if you're holding the fret, if you're holding your thumb on the back here and you place your finger on the fret here, you'll have enough room, if you will, so that the middle finger can come around and over the string below it. If you're doing stuff like this, you're going to get a lot of that noise, and it's really going to be a struggle. You may get it on a whim, but that's not really how you want to play it. You want to have the wrist hanging low with that thumb pointing predominantly straight down, roughly halfway down the back of that neck. Now that halfway point is going to depend, of course, on your hand size and your finger and thumb size and what have you. But that's roughly where you want it, so that you can bring your wrist and your hand out towards the camera right now. All right, and so you can play a chord like that, like the D minor 7. All right, so that's how that's played. So that is a chord. So you got, congratulations, you would get a D minor 7. All right, out of that, once you get this first, work on getting that first. Shouldn't be too difficult. Bring the middle finger over, and there's your D minor 7. All right, now the next chord that I'm going to show you, it's this thing right here. Well, first let me show the picture first. All right, so we're going to share the screen, and let's see if I can find it here. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Okay, sorry, I thought I had that all set up. I didn't have it set up. Okay, so this right here is called a D half diminished. Oh my gosh. Did he really say that? It's called a D half diminished. So if you ever see this little circle with a line through it, that means half diminished. How are we going to play that? Okay, now look at the, before I show you, look at the bar chord right here. See this line like this? You see there's 3 1s. That means you're going to have the pointer finger pressing on these 3 strings at the same time. And this 0 up here means that's an open D. X means we don't play those 2. So you're going to press down on these 3. So this is, in a sense, it's the same thing that we did when I started, when I just told you to press on these 2. Now we're going to press on this over here. Okay, we're going to add that string we're going to press on. Okay, so let me show you that here now in real time. So instead of going to play this, very simply, you move here. So we do the exact same thing. Okay, now we're pressing down on 3 strings. That sounds a little funky. That is a chord. It's called a half diminished chord, but you can play it. So congratulations, you can play a jazz chord. If you want to call it a jazz chord. You don't see this too often in rock, but it's a chord. And what you're doing is you're going to press your pointer finger down on 3 strings and have an open D. And what that is now is that this chord right here. All right, D half diminished. So all you're doing now is you're just taking the pointer finger, instead of pressing down on 2 strings, you're pressing down on 3. Woohoo! All right. So here's the final one. All right. So I've shown you 2. All right. Well, 3. If you want to call that pointer finger thing here, just with the 2 strings, I don't know what that would be called, and then did this to make you D minor 7. But then we just took that out and moved the pointer finger up, and now it's called a wacky D half diminished. Yikes. But that's actually it. That's it. It's got a crazy name, but it's relatively simple in concept. But my thumb and my wrist and my hand have not changed. If you've noticed it or not noticed it, that's what I'm doing right here, okay? I'm holding it straight down. Now, what you can do if you feel adventuresome from this chord right here, all right, you can take either your little finger or your ring finger and you bring it over to the 3rd fret on the 4th string. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, this is the D string. So you take that D half diminished, keep that pointer finger there, and you just bring the ring finger around, or the little finger, whichever works best for you. Either one. You bring it over, hit the same 4 strings. All right, that is an F minor. Now, it could be more difficult than what it looks, because what you've got to do is you've got to keep that pointer finger there and bring the ring finger around up here. You make sure that finger is curved so it gets over the string below it. All right. So now it could be a little hard. It could be a little hard on the fingers in the hand if you just held this tightly. One thing to try to not do is press too tight. You have to press firmly. In other words, the thumb is pushing into the neck on the back, and the pointer and the ring finger are kind of pointing on the right here. Are kind of pointing in. I'm sorry, on the right. Are pointing into the fretboard. All right. That concept, if you can get this to work, okay, bring your middle finger down. All right, on the 2nd fret and 3rd string. You may recognize this one. This is the dreaded F chord. Really, all the F chord is if you got that D minor 7, just bring the ring finger over. Or you can learn that F minor like this and put the middle finger down, and you've got an F major chord. So there's a bonus chord for you. All right. All these are bar chords. We're barring these 2 strings, trying to make this work, or the D half diminished here. Okay. This is a great start before you get into the bar chords that I'm sure you see a lot of people play, which are major bar chords, minor, and then more here. I would suggest that if you're struggling with these, you work on getting the 2 finger one. And you don't have to play it down here. What I just showed you, you can take it all the way up here if you want. Just be careful on the lowest string, because you can't really, well, sometimes you can't use that D. You can play like an A minor, F minor, A minor, or whatever it is. All right, and you can play, a minor chord like that. There's different variations and different ways of making that work. But anyway, that is how you would do some bar chords. That's a good way to start. A 2 string or a simple in concept. I should say simple. simple in concept, 3-string bar chord. So go ahead and take that and see if that helps you out. Hopefully it did. I can't guarantee you just got to work at it. It's like everything else. Nothing comes easy. If you're struggling with it, it may take work. Stick with it. Hang in there. Everybody takes a different amount of time to make these things work. So you can make this thing work too. You really can. And if you need any help, if you need, just DM me. Like I said, leave a comment in the descriptions below, or try to look into getting a free online lesson or two, and we can go more in depth on how to make these bar chords sound really, really good for you. And they're free, money back guarantee for the extra lesson. So you got stuff that you really don't have nothing to lose. Just go ahead and check that out. Okay, so this is a quick lesson. I hope this helped you out. I'm Tony from 6-String Corner. It's so good to see you live. Those of you who are on live, thank you for showing up. And those of you who are showing up after, which is probably most of you, thanks for stopping by and checking me out. I got all kinds of other videos on this channel. Go look through the playlist and see if there's anything that might help you out. That's what we're here for, to help you be better guitar players. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. I will be back at this same bat time, same bat channel here on at Tuesday, 5:15 Central, 6:15 Eastern time in the Western Hemisphere. So give it a go. All right. Thanks a lot. Rock on. Peace out. I'll talk to you guys